I'm fine. Yeah, I did it.
I'm fine. I didn't know.
I'm gonna sit here and just.
All right, so we're actually a small team from this past year's Shell Games weekly game jam, which is an event that happens at our company where we get a week to work on any project that we want and then pitch it to the studio. This is this year's entry. We've been given some time to start getting ready a prototype build to put together for a Kickstarter. It's called Nullpoint, and it is a real-time tactical survival horror game. Do you guys have anything to add beyond that?
I think that pretty much sums it up. Let's just show them what we got.
Yeah, so Sam, kick us off.
Do we want to introduce roles on the project at all, so they know who we are?
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys should say your names and what you did.
All right, well, I'm Patrick J. I'm the lead designer and project director right now.
Okay, I'm Sam Poglaze, and I'm a programmer on the project.
Joe Pasick, technical director.
All right, so I guess we should just start it off here.
All right, start a new cycle.
Nulani, we got Nulani surprised. She's excited. She or he is excited.
Yep, this is.
All right, here we go.
So this is we will actually be releasing a much less buggy version of what we're playing right now, probably in about a week or so, to coincide with a Kickstarter that's going to be starting up October 6th.
This is Captain America. Ah!
No, this is Captain America.
Captain America.
Well, what can you do?
He's a captain.
Perfect.
Our viewers are used to cut off text.
Good.
Look, in the future, you don't have time to say all those syllables.
All right, let's reload our gun here.
So yeah, Albrecht, that is our main selling point, is trying to figure out how to bring a game with an outer loop, kind of like Darkest Dungeon, which we're all big fans of, together with a real-time strategy control scheme.
He doesn't have a shield, all right?
He doesn't have a shield either.
I'm sorry.
Yep, so these are some of our early tutorial notes. We'll probably be skipping by them because we all know how to play the game. That's what matters right about now.
High Memory Area wants to know where are you and what's happening.
Oh.
Excellent question.
I don't know that.
Well,
We'll keep this.
Figuring that out is actually part of the game, but the part of the opening pitch is that the null point is actually a mysterious structure discovered on the edge of the solar system. It was picked up by long-range satellites. Expeditions went to it, and since then something happened. Clearly everything's gone wrong because there was a dead guy in front of you in the last room. And figuring out what happened is the game while trying to survive.
Yeah, Snapconda points out you guys should slow down because while you know how to play the game, they don't know how to play the game. So
It's a really good point.
this may be a bit confusing for people.
Sorry.
Motion sickness.
You might want to pull the camera out a little bit to give them. So, the controls are real-time strategy. Right-click to move, left-click to interact with things. You have an inventory per character at the bottom of the screen that you can track at all times, and you can individually select or group select your units to control them the same way that you would in a game like StarCraft or Dawn of War.
Yeah, Tressa, I don't think there is a tutorial just yet. This is a really early prototype. So
yeah,
you guys are gonna have to try to just sort of talk through as if there is a tutorial.
Yeah, these first few rooms are the closest thing that we have to a tutorial. It is just based off of reading notes that tell you the basic controls and give you some tips. For the most part, figuring out how to play the game is, like this is.
Yeah, so this is just talking through the basic interaction with the crew members. So you left click to select them, or select their portrait to select them, and then you can left click and drag to multi-select multiple guys.
And if you actually click, drag, and hold in a direction, you can tell the characters to deploy in that direction.
So who are we in the game? We are survivors from this expedition.
Yeah, when the game begins, the expedition into the null point has already gone wrong. So you're somewhere deep inside this large, abandoned alien space station discovered on the edge of our solar system. you're cut off from the ships that took you here and everything else. You are space survivors.
That's right. All right, so we found our first enemy here.
One at the top of the frame.
Who should we send in? Should we send in pipe guy or gun guy?
Well, taking it slow is probably a good idea, but the second you start firing off that pistol, you're going to attract attention. Different actions and different weapons in the game have noise levels, and depending on the enemy.
Oh boy.
Oh. Yeah, depending on the enemy, they can hear different things from different distances. So that guy that you just decided to pick a fight with there actually is calling down some of the other creatures in the station on you.
Hawkeye, you're hurting.
Poor Hockey.
Oh no!
Too slow.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, Captain America! Abort!
Get him to run. See if you can lose him.
Snapcon wants to know what you guys were doing on the UI before the battle started.
Right.
We were doing inventory management. One of the unique things about this game is that each character holds their own inventory. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
I sense a restart.
Okay.
So each one of those 4 boxes underneath their name is that character's specific equip slot, and then their 3 unequipped inventory slots. If you want to trade an item to another character, you can drag items between those slots, but the characters have to be next to each other to do that.
And I guess if you're asking specifically about, there's a button that allows you to go into a mode where they will pretty much auto-fire on anything that they see as a target. And so that one button I was pressing was to switch them into a mode where they don't do that. Where like I choose who I want to shoot. This is like the AI decides.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that mode is kind of unique. That's not typical to RTS.
Yeah, that's sort of like a modified hold fire mode. Because depending on how much ammunition you have or how healthy your team is or how large your team is, you may want to actually engage conflicts head on like a more traditional tactics game, or you may want to go for a stealth approach where you don't want them firing on their own.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, the ranged enemy is kind of a big problem because as soon as he makes that noise, he'll pull a lot of surrounding guys into you.
We're trying to keep the game as procedural as possible while still making it fair. So these first few rooms you'll see are the same every time, but beyond that, these dungeons are completely randomly generated, and we've built the enemies to be as sandboxy and interactive with each other as possible. So really what happened there is the enemy with the glowing crystals, the siren, has a scream that is very loud and actually is heard by other enemies near it. And they won't aggro to you directly, but they will come to investigate the sound. We're trying to build in as many little interactions between the different enemy types like that as we can. So when you roll dungeons with different types of enemies, they interact with each other and change the way that you've got to approach the dungeon.
You like that beard, Snapcon? Snapcon, you may or may not die.
Don't send in the pipe this time.
Yeah, I can't.
Boy, so there's another side.
Oh,
boy,
okay.
Run. Oh, this is going horribly.
So what's going on?
You don't think
So he's deployed now, and he's trying to defend himself against shamblers, but it's probably too many shamblers for you.
I should just abort this. This is a mission that should
You
be
might want
aborted.
to run.
Oh, no.
Kane.
Yeah, so the deploy mode is
Kane's
unique to our game. It allows for heightened accuracy and perks of I guess fire distance too, right? I believe, or did we take that out?
You can definitely see farther, right?
Dark points out we forgot to change the title.
Oh, for the stream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
about that.
I don't know.
this is a case. You're down to one guy in a pipe, so you may want to put yourself on hold fire mode and try to sneak past him.
Good call. Oh, and I guess also we do have kind of a system
Oh, you got it.
we do have kind of a system of hearing. So as you run around the scene, if you're walking or running, you'll be making different amounts of noise, which will aggro less or more.
You've just you have just gotten.
You cannot dual wield pipes. ETB, you are correct. There is no one main character in this. One of the early pitches for this idea is that it sort of mimics that action horror movie model where there's a cast of characters and anybody can die at any time. The game actually keeps going as long as you can keep any number of survivors alive.
All right.
So we'll swap to Joe, who's one of our hotshot veteran players of this. There is a lot of death in this first level, especially. One of the interesting things about a difficulty curve for a game like this is that the deeper you go into the game, the more consequence death has. And we know that there's a learning curve, and we'd rather you learn the basic mechanics of the game just up front in a place where it's pretty easy to restart quickly and try something new and develop a strategy or a set of strategies that works for you.
Yeah, and I guess, are you talking to ETB's point or whatever? Where
Well,
basically we have a game where your units matter and you can level them up.
I hope I counted the E's and the H's right.
Get attached to them, you know, develop them to have better weapons, develop them and their stats, but your guys will die sometimes.
You will suffer losses, but
There
so
will
long
be
as
losses.
you can keep one person alive, the game will continue. And actually this first level involves you getting to a dropship that will be your home base for the rest of the game. As you will be moving between these procedurally generated dungeons, trying to find a way to escape from the Nullpoint itself, which is a really large station that you're actually flying around inside. And that shuttle that you're flying around in the superstructure with will double as your home base. It's where you can repair and refit, exchange power for ammunition, that kind of thing.
And your shuttle's not procedurally generated. That's actually a...
No, your shuttle actually sticks with you. It will be the same every time, and you can choose in a playthrough different ways to upgrade your shuttle that'll change how the game plays.
And ETB, yeah, you are trying to find new crew members and build up your crew.
Mm-hmm.
But the shuttle is only a 5-seater.
Yep, you can only have up to 5 survivors at a time. And that's just because beyond that it gets silly to try and control. We also feel that's a pretty good number. It's challenging to control 5 characters at once, but it opens you up to a lot more tactics. If you want to deploy a couple of guys in a choke point and send out a scout to aggro a few enemies and run back.
I got lucky. I just got a third guy.
Yeah.
And I guess in some roguelikes games where you lose crew members and gain crew members, sometimes you pick those up kind of at your home base, but in this game you discover them. So you have to find them in the world, basically.
That's a really good question, High Memory. We can't really say if you're going to find any friendly aliens, because that's part of what the game is. The Shamblers, we can tell you, actually aren't aliens at all. A little bit of backstory is that the Nullpoint, when they first entered it, was completely empty. And humanity began going deeper into the facility. And the deeper they went into the facility, the more people started to go crazy. And certain people went completely crazy, broke, and then began to mutate. And a lot of these early enemies are actually what happened to a significant portion of the crew.
Hi, Q-Dog.
Hey, Q-Dog, we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, where you been?
Yes, dead people do drop their equipment. And that's part of why we made sure that separate inventories are respected. Choosing who is going to hold on to your last med kit is an important decision, because if he dies, the med kit gets dropped and left behind. Same with any special weapons you might have.
So not recoverable.
It is recoverable if you can
okay.
get back there.
Right.
All
Yeah.
part of my strategy.
Sometimes when there's some trouble, it's a little difficult. So you might have to wait till the heat dies down.
Right.
tends to lead.
Yeah, you can see that. So Joe's been playing for a few days now, and he's keeping his guys split up so that shamblers can't attack him all at once. He's locking doors behind him to make sure that nothing can sneak up on him. Using cover fire and very carefully exploring an area with scouts really improves your chances of survival.
When you say scouts, what exactly? Are people specialized in that way, or is it just in the way you're using them?
There are no classes, but in the final version, characters have perks and quirks that are advantages and drawbacks to that character uniquely. Anybody can be a scout, but a better scout would be somebody who has the quick-footed perk and runs 10% faster.
Vino wins the prize.
Hashtag pipe life.
Pipe life. Pipe is love. Pipe is life. I've been saying it all along.
It's time to put your pipe where your mouth is.
Oh.
What?
I'm not doing that.
Oh, there you go. Pipe number 5.
All right. High Memory R and Vino the Gree.
Gria.
Oh yeah, Q-Dog just got here. You might want to.
Yeah, Q-Dog, this is actually a game that we are getting ready to kickstart with a prototype, similar to the way we did last year with Orion Trail. This actually came out of the same yearly game jam that Shell does to try and generate cool new ideas for games. We pitched it internally after Jam Week, and we've been, over the course of the past few weeks, just putting together this prototype and a Kickstarter campaign that'll be launching on October 6th, I believe.
Yeah, and also I should add, you guys have a devlog and a Twitter set up, so if people want to follow along and keep up to date on things, that would be awesome.
Yeah, if someone in the chat actually would want to send that out, that'd be great.
Yeah, Heidi, if you can drop that in there, that would be awesome. Or Snapconda, we have our moderators.
Yeah, they got swords.
Fancy sword moderators.
Sword!
So I'm also using hotkeys, which are supported. 1 through 5 will keep my guys respectively. And that does make it very easy for very quickly dispensing commands to make them move in different directions. Which scattering your guys is a very good strategy, especially when you are being pursued.
A lot of enemies in the game actually have small area attacks. So the more you can keep your survivors spaced out, the more you improve your chances of one escaping. It's also interesting that the first level is not exactly the same format as the final game, because this is the level where you're trying to find your shuttle. You're trying to find your home base. Once you have it, going into a level like this will be something that you opt into. The shuttle flies around in the big corridors of the ship called the superstructure, and at any point you can dock at specific dungeon entrances in the superstructure and enter what we call substrates. Those are your big procedurally generated elements, and the deeper you go into a substrate, the harder the enemies get, and the bigger the rewards that you can scavenge from the facility are. But at any point, you can tell your crew to turn around, go back to the ship, and leave if you can escape.
Let's get that door.
That's our hope, Blue.
That's the theory.
I think everybody on the dev team are big fans of FTL, Darkest Dungeon, Dark Souls. It's really fun to play games that force you to approach a situation very carefully.
So hot.
He just has a pipe though.
He had a pipe.
Pipe is life.
Hey man,
don't go quad pipe. It's
never
foolishness.
Never go quad pipe.
Never go quad pipe.
So is there any sort of mini-map to show where you've been? Or I could see myself easily getting lost in these structures.
Yeah, we've been toying around with that idea.
Yeah, it's something that we think after playing a while without the minimap, we know that we're going to need for the larger levels.
Yeah.
And we're considering just adding a mini-map outright or making it an item that you can pick up that is held by a character.
Sure.
So once again, protect whoever is holding your mini-map, because if he dies, then you lose it until you get it back.
Okay, so we've got this guy here.
Yeah, now I'll tell you that sirens can't see very well, but they can hear very well. So they'll try to investigate things.
Sirens are that monster?
Yeah, that monster is called a siren right now, is at least our internal name for it.
It's purple. I want to touch it. It looks so.
So shiny.
Oh, I'll touch it.
So how is sound displayed? Like, how do you know if they've heard you or not?
Currently, well, I guess we do have a slight visual for sound being disseminated to other entities. Like you'll see a graphic for the siren in the door that will tell you that a loud sound is being pushed out into the world. But there's no visual. There's nothing visually denoting that they can hear you other than the fact that they're aggroing right now.
Yeah, we sort of have two classifications of sounds. Also, be very careful. He's about to find our third enemy.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
We
so
sort of have two classifications of sounds. Big sounds, like opening large doors or when the sirens scream, will call in enemies from a couple screens away, and it's important for us to show a visualization for that. But although we have smaller sounds in the game, like running and gunfire, if you put something on screen for that, it really can clutter it up. So we've been experimenting with ways that we can slowly teach you as you're playing which enemies will hear you and which enemies are more deaf and can be run
right
past.
in the center of this map.
Oh yeah.
This is a sticky situation.
Well,
I think the only thing that I can do is take this guy. I need to clear out a little bit, so we're gonna pull some breach and clear.
I think your pistol guy is gone.
Nope. I believe that I've broken. Oh no. I've got this kill corridor set up. So anyone who funnels down through here will then be subject to my gunfire.
I think he's too smart. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
So when can some of the folks at home play this prototype? You guys think about releasing it soon in this form, or?
Yeah, very soon. At the very latest, we'll be releasing it on the same day as the Kickstarter, October 6th. And depending on how polished we can get it, how many bugs we can squash by then, we might actually release it sooner.
Cool. And then that'll be on the Nullpoint, shellgames.com?
It will be on the Nullpoint website, and we'll definitely be tweeting about it on the Nullpoint Twitter as well. Woo! All right, so you took out the siren before he could scream and call down the horde on you.
Yep.
Hashtag pipe dreams.
Hashtag pipe dreams.
It's another great game.
Pipe train.
So covering fire is now depleted.
The downside of going for a heavy melee strategy like that is that both of your guys took damage from that shambler.
Yep, this is true.
Now the pipe gang has to do it.
And yep, got to watch out for getting snuck up on. So you see, situations like that are instances of hearing in the game really working well. That was a shambler that didn't see you, but he was coming to check out the sound of the pistol firing.
So now I need more pipes, because I have... Pipes will break, melee weapons will break over time.
Oh, you got 4 guys. You think you could make a break for it?
Potentially, but I take no chances in this game. And that is...
We got 5 minutes.
All right, we got 5 minutes, Joe. I think you've got to try and make it to the end.
Give the folks a show.
All right, we're gonna take a run for it then.
As much as I love pipe life.
Let's get past the final enemy that we have in the demo right now.
Is that a pipo? Nice.
Oh, did you just move us?
Am I good?
No, it doesn't. You don't worry.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the stream. You're fine.
All right, great. I'm new to this.
Better book it.
Let's see.
Watch for the light.
What does the light do?
So that's our third enemy type, the Sentinel.
Oh boy.
Freaky.
Don't stand in his light.
And And you stood in his light.
You stood in his light.
Sorry, Vino.
Somebody's got a little limp over there.
Vino.
This is when
ETB,
things
get
go
out.
wrong. Just look for the door.
Oh,
boy.
No.
Well, all right.
You
Is there
we,
a door?
we told you to make a run for it. You knew it wasn't a good idea. And
You did it anyway.
You did it anyway, so...
All for
that
the
was
good of the
awesome,
show.
though. That was exciting.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So the Sentinel is an example of an enemy who is very strong, but nearly blind and nearly deaf.
Pass me the...
And if you stay out of his spotlight, you'll be all right.
Let me put the camera back on you guys. Ah.
Oh, we're back
All right.
to us. All right.
Yep.
So there it is.
So cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks
Yeah.
for showing off Nullpoint.
Yeah.
You can expect to be hearing a lot more from these guys.
No, Vino, you were great. You were great.
Thanks a lot, Vino.
You're the last. You're the last one standing. So
It's true. He's a hero.
Yeah, I
But
guess
yeah, so we will also be announcing when these guys are doing their Kickstarter. Expect a lot of chatter from both the Orion Trail team and the Nullpoint team in the coming weeks.
We're excited.
So, video games are cool. Thanks for tuning in this week.
All right.
We'll see you
Thanks for
next
watching,
time.
guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye.